Hello and welcome.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Listenerland, the show that is gossip. Imagine three people in a pub catching up on the week and discussing the ins and outs of musical shenanigans. Did you hear that? Did you see that? What about this? What about that? We're just trying to recreate that sort of nonsense that you would overhear in a bar.
You've all done it, so don't say you haven't.
And if you do like what you hear and you want to hear more dribble, then please hit that like and subscribe button, because the more that you like and the more that you subscribe, the more that we will do this and try and do a better job next time. Yeah. Maybe.
Better dribble.
Better dribble.
Thicker.
More dribble.
More dribble.
As P. Diddy once said. Ooh. Anyway, against my better judgment, I have a story about Mr. Dickinson.
Mr. Who?
Bruce Dickinson.
Bruce?
My
Dickinson.
friend
I thought you meant
Bruce.
Charles.
I thought you meant
but it's
David.
actually a sad story.
Oh.
So, he's helping Iron Maiden look for a new singer because he's decided that he can't go on no more because he has he's had to step down due to ill health. Apparently, he has got a cancerous tumour on the back of his tongue, which won't allow him to sing no more. So he's helping the band look for somebody to replace him.
Will he be able to talk?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, right.
He didn't say. He just said that it would helping him look.
Well, best of luck with that one.
Yeah. No, I don't.
Eddie Van Halen had the similar sort of thing, didn't he? But he had it on the side of his tongue.
All right.
He weren't singing though, were he?
No, but he always put it down to the fact that he used to put his plec in his mouth. And the metal, he was used sometimes metal plex on things.
Oh, right.
So,
how big was his plaque though?
I don't know. But he said that he used to do that.
Wow.
Like a poor job.
Yeah.
Oh. Right.
But,
So poor old Mr. Dickinson.
all right, that's a bit.
I have given him a bit of hammer, but I don't.
Yeah.
You know, I wish him well on that one.
Yeah. Well, you got his book, didn't you?
Yeah, and signed.
And signed, yeah. Might not have been by him, but
No,
you got it
it
signed.
might not have been. Somehow I'm not right sure it was, but you know, you never know. One day.
Well, here's a game I like to play.
Well, there's a funny thing, isn't it? Because I'm sorry, Louis, but Paul Di'Anno has just passed away, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
The original singer.
Yes, he has.
Oh, David wasn't the original singer.
Sorry?
David who?
Not Dickinson.
Coverdale.
Charles Dickinson.
Charles Dickinson wasn't the original singer.
No.
Bruce Dickinson.
It was a bloke called Paul Di'Anno,
Oh,
and I think he did the first two albums.
right.
But they only really got the height of success when Mr. Dickinson joined them.
Oh, okay.
That's when all the hits started to happen.
Now, I want to say something bad there, but because of the situation, I'm going to withhold that statement.
Probably a good idea.
I mean, you've already sort of said a slandering statement. I want to say something bad. I want to say that they're an arsehole, but I'm not going to because...
I want to correct him there because he said singer.
Oh,
come on,
okay.
come on, no rise.
And, you know...
Well, Paul Di'Anno, they sacked him because of his extensive use of drugs and alcohol. It weren't working out. The things, they couldn't rely on him. So it's a common story. And so they got rid. But he continued working.
He didn't wear all white, did he?
Oh, I don't know. He continued working. And he was working up till end, really. But he was performing in a wheelchair.
What was he doing?
Singing. He was singing.
Juddling.
But he wasn't a well man. He's not been a well man.
We've all
for
seen
years.
Big Break.
He wasn't a well man.
No?
Yeah, and he eventually caught up with him.
Well,
I think you're only about
it's
66.
kind of, isn't it?
I think you're only about 66, something like that.
I've got a statement.
A statement?
A statement this week. Cancelling my tour is the best thing I have ever done.
Ooh, do I know this?
Who said that?
Oh, I feel like I've heard this.
I feel like it's a lot of bollocks, but there you go.
Oh, I don't know then. I don't know.
J-Lo.
No, I have not heard this.
Oh,
She's come out this week and she said,
Jenny from the block.
she said, cancelling my tour is the best thing I have ever done. Because
It would have been embarrassing.
Because we're going through the divorce. It's the first time in 16 years I've been able to concentrate on my kids.
No, it's not, because I've seen a video of her.
She lied so well.
I've seen a video of her selling beauty products. She's got her own beauty product range and wine.
Didn't she turn up at Kamala Harris's?
She did, but get this right. Ben Affleck was a sober. He had an alcohol problem, right? So he decided he was going to go sober. So if you see photos of him, he looks quite miserable because he was going out with J-Lo and he was sober. And his only vice was Dunkin' Donuts, it seems. But what did Jenny from the block do? She brought out her own wine range.
And said, would you like to taste it? Would you like a sample?
Trying to go sober, woman.
She brings out a bloody wine range.
She's good. No, it might have something to do with the fact that the poor ticket sales.
No.
I'm going to stick my neck out.
No.
You've got a mouth on you. I might be saying a bad thing.
What is wrong with you?
I might be saying a bad thing,
How
but I'm going to
dare
go
you?
ticket sales were poor.
Oh,
Don't be jealous by the rocks that she's got.
come on.
She's still Jenny from the block.
Well, I don't care.
Even though the block don't recognise her anymore, but you know.
The block don't want to know more. No, she's not down with the kids now anymore.
Well, you know, I'm just glad that she's done something positive.
Yeah.
And
lied through her teeth.
And she's happy that she's made this big decision because she was going to be singing to nobody.
Yeah.
And she's made a decision to cancel the tour.
Yeah.
And now she
all
feels
that
a lot
work
better
for
for it.
small audiences is not what she wanted.
No. I mean,
No, playing at bar mitzvah's not up there, is it?
no. I mean, singing for what, an hour and a half to 3 men and
You
a
say
cocker
singing,
spaniel?
you say singing, that's a bit of a strong term.
It's not
Miming for an hour and a half is quite tiring.
It's tiring.
Tiring.
Let me tell you.
Especially to 3 men, a cocker spaniel in dog and partridge
And a mirror.
in Romage.
No, she wouldn't have done that. That's why she's said
Saving
no.
face.
She still
she's
won't
saving
sell a
face.
pub out in Greensborough.
Yeah, she's saving face.
Yeah.
What will she do now? What's left for her now?
A beauty range.
A beauty, I'm going to say.
Because she's,
I
her
thought she
acting
got clothes
career
as
is
well.
not particularly doing well.
There are plenty of terrible films, I'm sure.
Well, I'm sure she can find one, maybe 2, 3, 4. Okay, half a dozen. I'm sure there's 4, 6.
She's
She's got beauty products out, and she's got a clothes range out.
Everybody's got a clothes range.
makeup, clothes, and wine.
There you go.
What more does a girl need?
Yeah.
But on the subject of positivity and negativity,
Okay.
when you buy music, you need to buy it in 432 hertz.
Really?
Right.
I'll bear that in mind.
Because people since the 50s have been remastering things to be 432 hertz. Because what that does is it has a healing property. So do you know like how cats, when they purr, it's supposed to be about like healing their bones and their muscular tissue and stuff like that?
No.
Well, when cats purr, it's about healing their bones and their muscular tissue and things like that.
It's usually because they're just going to spray your leg. Have it.
So a lot of music is considered to be recorded in 440 hertz, which is like a dissonant sort of tone.
Right.
And it's very small, but over time, without realizing it, it's quite a negative. It's almost like if you're playing a sharp or a flat note, you know, like that sort of like angst.
Yeah, I get that bit.
But you don't notice it.
You don't notice it.
And it sort of sits in the body and creates a negative thing. Whereas 432 hertz is apparently very positive, and it creates a lot of.
You know, when you said they've been doing this from 50s, were they aware of that?
Some people have been aware of it, and people who are into their hertz. Not just Johnny Cash and Nine Inch Nails.
Oh.
I hurts myself today.
So,
but
would that also reflect on people that play in things like drop tuning?
No, it's about hertz, and I don't really know much more about it.
Open tuning.
But
because if it's not, it's
not
got
that.
to be.
It's not that. It's
If you're playing standard tuning and you drop it, say, to an open G, it's got to be different hertz.
So it's something to do, so you can actually visualize hertz, right? And where I saw this being demonstrated, they were showing you different patterns of different hertz frequencies, right?
If he keeps arguing, I want to show him some patterns of hertz.
And it's like a spirograph. All the water like ripples out, or the gel, and they can illuminate certain paths, and it comes with this big psychedelic pattern, and different hertz create different things. And 432 it's a very like symmetrical, equally balanced.
They wouldn't have had the technology to recognise that back in the day, though, would they?
I think. Yeah.
So then that would be standard E. But if you dropped it down to say a G or a D, the hertz would change, wouldn't it?
Maybe. I don't know enough about hertz, but I just know that apparently one's good and one's bad. And a lot of, by coincidence, like Mozart and Bach.
Mozart,
or what does it say? Something Kiss My Ass, one of his songs.
Yeah.
They happen to be in this luxury hertz, which is like very soothing, and that's why people end up playing like classical music when they're pregnant.
Oh, I'll bear that in mind then.
But it's interesting, isn't it? A lot that we don't understand about audio.
There's a lot. What draws us to certain things is becoming more.
Because we're all very reactive to frequencies without knowing it.
Yeah, we're susceptible to vibrations, which is basically what we're on about here, aren't we? And what are you laughing at? And so the vibrations.
I'm just thinking, will you come off a P. Diddy subject?
No. So there's pleasant vibrations.
Again.
And there's good vibrations.
Good
vibration. Yeah. So when we don't know it, we're not recognising it. It's just something that we feed into
there is
on a subconscious level.
There are these things which is going around where people are putting like crocodile clips, where it's got like hooked up to a device, and what it does is it picks up the object's natural thing that it produces. Everything has a vibration, right?
Yeah.
And they'll clip it onto a different plant or a different leaf, and it'll create a different sound. And it's like it sounds like a bit of a synth wave.
What do you mean it'll create a different sound?
It's hard to explain, but they'll like. I know, but they'll clip it onto things.
A pulse.
Everything.
Not like we have a pulse, but it has a vibration. It has there's a reading you can get from it.
Everything vibrates.
It makes a noise.
Solid matter has parts that vibrate. Water vibrates.
That off him.
It's true. You can't
all
argue
the
with
particles.
science.
It's quite fascinating. It's almost like a different dimension that
we've not tapped into yet. But we've always known about it.
Yeah.
But
so, do you know how you can? Have you seen those videos where they're able, given like 4 speakers? There's a big speaker there, a big speaker there, a big speaker there, and a big speaker there. And what they can do is they can get like a ping pong ball or a piece of fluff or whatever, and they can suddenly levitate this ball around and move it around. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, well, it uses the same
through
stuff
sound?
Through sound.
Oh, sorry,
And they can manoeuvre it through different
through sound waves.
Through sound waves.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, they can levitate and move things through sound waves and frequencies.
Yeah. You can also, and have you seen that one where it's like a cone-shaped thing? And they can.
And there's a little dog sat at the side of it next to a record player.
It's a similar thing. And about 50 feet away is a
man in a white suit.
Crash test dummy stood against a car, and they send a sound wave or a shock wave, or whatever you want to call it, but it's a sound wave. There's nothing physical about it, and it adds to this, and it literally rips this test dummy apart. It's a sound wave.
I haven't seen that, but that reminds me of an interview that David Bowie did in his height of cocaine. He was doing an interview was it Ed Sullivan show maybe, where he's playing with the cane in the carpet. He's like twisting it into carpet. He looks very ill and thin, and is high as a kite, but is talking about a real fear that he's aware of that. Some people are planning, or the CIA have built like this sound bomb, where basically they can produce a bomb which just makes a sound and it will destroy everything in its path.
Yeah, it's like the closest thing I can explain. Have you ever seen that thing with air when you like to bang the air?
Oh, like a slingshot of air.
Yeah, it sends a shot of air out. It's the same thing, but it's sound. And it just tore this crash test dummy to pieces.
I ain't got time for watching stuff like that.
Well, it's science.
So what? I ain't got time for that shit.
What have you got time for? I want to see men lift big rocks.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Don't you think that's interesting, though?
Absolutely not. No, I can't think it. I'd be bored out of my brains if I sat watching that.
Do you find it interesting?
No, not at all. Not one bit.
Does the world?
No,
I've no curiosity to you.
I'm not even curiously going to look at it tomorrow just to see.
That means he is. Next week he'll be like, so boys.
Did you see that shockwave that sent over?
No.
You can listen. There are playlists dedicated to like certain hertz, which are really like good for relaxing and all sorts of.
No, I relax fine. I'm good.
I think there's a lot to be said about knowing more about what sound does.
Yeah.
Sound is something that I listen to. That's as far as I want it to be. That's it. I don't want to be knocked over by it. I don't want to be blown to bits by it. I just want to hear it. That's good enough for me, that. I'm quite happy with that.
But like, let's say Dark Side of the Moon, aside from the way that it's built and the songs and the lyrics and stuff, there's a vibe. I think it's the vibe. Like, there's a vibe there. Now, what is that vibe?
A vibe? What do you mean a vibe? It depends what you...
Well, vibe's short for vibration.
It's not just Dark Side.
What's that good vibration? But like, there's something going on, right?
That could be on.
Yeah.
Could be any album from anybody. It depends what mood you're in when you put it on.
I don't know.
It gives you different vibes.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. It depends what mood you're in at the time. And if you're susceptible at that time, a certain piece of music or a certain collection of music is going to have more of a...
Will either take you further down or lift you up.
More often than not, it will bring you up.
Yeah.
It won't take you down. Music never takes you down. Unless it's, grunge.
Well, no, it's not true.
No, it's not true. I take that back.
So...
And what I'm leading towards is... You made a comment some weeks ago that you were asking about one of my favourite concerts I went to, and I said that the Ray LaMontagne concert at the City Hall, because it was a good vibe, it was a good feel, it was a nice atmosphere, and I really enjoyed the atmosphere of the music, and I was ready for that concert, and it was great.
It sat like a soup of golden liquid.
Yeah.
What, like this?
And everything about it I enjoyed.
But so when I said, well, that's not true, the band that automatically comes to mind is, well, there's two bands now. One being Radiohead. So a lot of people don't like Radiohead, and what they say is, they say it's depressing.
They used to say that about Pink Floyd, though.
But they used to say it about Coldplay, and hence why Coldplay became super pop. But I like listening to Radiohead, and sometimes I used to listen to Radiohead before I went out, because it would sort of like bring me into like a sort of like a harbour water.
Yeah.
Just before
you released into the wave a bit. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like there's something quite nice about the melancholy.
Yes, there is. Yeah, I agree with you. I remember a conversation I once had with somebody, and I would describe, what you into? Oh, I like Pink Floyd and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, great. Music's to slash your wrist to. I don't want offended by that.
Yeah.
It's not.
No, it's not. No.
And I thought, well, you just...
Idiots. People like that.
You've not listened to it, so you don't know. You can't have. You've listened to one track and you thought, that's it, I've made my judgment.
Which is probably another brick in the wall, because that's what we're up. Constantly played on radio, on top of pop songs.
Well, if
and
it's
it got to number one, didn't it? So, Open Video Award, and so it's probably the only track they've ever heard by him.
If it's not eternal optimism behind a heavy beat and singing about Friday night,
give me
they don't want to know.
Give me Venga Girls any day. Yeah, that's a lot better.
But
no,
there's something unsatisfying about the shallowness of it. Like, where you get. I guess it's like food. It's like there are songs that are junk food, and junk food is great. Junk food it's a quick fix, and it's got a purpose, or like, just carbohydrates and sweets. And then sometimes there's a nice bit of meat and a nice bit of like salads and nourishment. And
I'll give you an example of this. Wayne walked in tonight, and we were talking about this.
He weren't wearing trousers.
He was strange enough for him, but he was. Because he's wearing a Led Zeppelin T-shirt tonight, and I'm wearing a music-related T-shirt. And I said, I've just bought a All Grey Whistle Test T-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
That goes back. So he said that. I said, one. I said, oh, yeah. And I said to him, and I weren't giving any particular thought as to what I was saying. I said, yeah, this is the reason why I'm the way I am with music. It's because of Old Grey Whistle Test. Because...
When did that finish airing, by the way? 80s?
I'm going to say 78.
Sorry?
I'm going to say 78.
Oh,
78.
no, a lot later than that.
No,
Really?
Yes, a lot later.
I'm going to use Google.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 87.
It became Whistle Test. Its original title was the Old Grey
So,
Whistle.
when did Old Grey Whistle Test finish, though?
I'm going to say early 80s.
I'm going to say 87.
Yeah, and it continued as the Whistle Test.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Later on. And he's got an answer.
It's still aired.
What are you saying?
87.
87.
84.
I said 78. It's 88.
Okay, we're all, well, me and him are nearer than you.
I'm a year out. Can't tell that.
No.
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. If you're that desperate for a win. No. But it's because we had Top of the Pops, and everybody watched Top of the Pops. I was there when David Bowie did Starman. We all saw that, and it was but that was the exception, and them little clips of that type of event were the exception rather than the rule. So a lot of it was like
A lot of naff.
It was commercial pop, bubblegum miming crap.
What was the weird bit? So this is obviously the early generation of Top of the Pops isn't my thing, but like, what was the thing about every now and again there'd be like a group of women in leotards just dancing?
Oh, they had Pants People.
What's that about?
People.
Well, I don't know. If they hadn't got a video, the band weren't available, they put some dancers on, they danced at music. Yeah, but it were pop.
They were like
Different times.
Pom-pom girl things. What do they call them? Cheerleaders.
Yeah, and it were... when you're 14, you watch it, and it's great. And
I didn't mind.
and you watched it, and you were all right. But when you got to 15, and the Old Grey Whistle Test song, and they're trying these alternative bands that you could be watching, like, I don't know, it could be anything.
Jethro Tull.
Sorry?
Jethro Tull.
Yeah, one week you'd have 4 or 5 acts on it. It'd be Jethro Tull, it might be Captain Beefheart, it might be Ry Cooder, it might be David Bowie.
Well, the fact that David Bowie was able to play 5 years.
Yeah, it might be Roxy Music used to play on there because they were that little bit. They got the toe in the alternative camp, and that is where my musical foundation starts. That's why I like everything's a little bit different.
Roxy Music.
And that's why I'm a bit snobbish about it, because anything poppy is just like disposable, and it's just not taking it serious.
I didn't mind Top of Pops. I thought it was all right, that.
No.
I didn't mind it. Were it Thursday nights or something like off 7, I think, wasn't it? Do you know that Thin Lizzy got banned from that?
Did they really?
Yeah, they got banned from it because... And now, I'm going to say...
You're going to have to back that up with some facts now.
I'm going to say it was Whiskey in a Jar. But I could be wrong. Mm-hmm. So that got...
And it might not be Top of the Pops.
So, it might not be...
It might not even be Thin Lizzy.
It was that one. Might not be Thin Lizzy.
So they were due to play Whiskey in a Jar. It could be Whiskey in a Jar. Whiskey in a Jar. So what they said is, look, we've just spent all this money on a video.
Yeah.
Just play the video. And the producer says, no, you're down to play. You've got to come and play. And he says, but that's what we've just spent all this money on a video for. Play the video. And he says, no, you've got to come and play. So they had to fly back from New York and just to do Top of Pops.
And mime.
You can see the frustration with that.
Yeah.
Scott Gorham's in there, arguing with producer, giving it all that.
What, imitation motorbikes?
He was just doing that. I forgot his name now.
Scott Gorham?
No, other one. Lynott.
Phil Lynott.
Lynott, whatever you want to pronounce it. Phil. He walks in and sees producer having a go at Scott Gorham.
His mate,
yeah. So he walks over, gets on producer, shoves him, and says, if you ever speak to my mate like that again, I'm going to pummel your face in.
No, he didn't say that. He said, if you ever
Well,
No. Continue.
Continue, because that sounds nothing like an Irish accent.
If you're ever.
If you ever, my boy.
Well, he took on a Welsh accent when he did it. Isn't it?
So he said, I'm going to, gear her right up, blah, blah, blah. And the producer turned around and went, right, get out. You'll never, ever play for Top Up Pops again. And they never did.
Wow.
But as Scott Gorham says, we'd just flown all the way back
Yeah.
from New York just to play Top Up Pops for Phil to lose it.
Yeah, and every time they went to America, they lost it, didn't they?
Yeah.
One respect or another. That's why they. Although they got quite a good base following there, they never really killed it, did they?
When they interview people for bands like might be a Guitar Tech or something like that, he says they always had 3 questions. Can you string a guitar? Can you work like a PR board? And can you fight?
Yeah. That weren't requirements.
Can you fight?
It says,
Yeah. Can you
says-
fight? Because they often have to.
It says if he could.
Why?
If
They
he
used to
could.
fall out with the bands.
Yeah, it says
They
if
fall out with everybody.
if they couldn't fight, we didn't hire them.
Did Gary Moore get glassed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Is that part of the fight and stuff?
No, well...
He used to do a lot in crowds as well.
He was a fiery
There's been a
person
lot
anyway.
of fighting in crowds, and it'd always spill onto the stage, and sometimes they'd get up and try and fight on stage, so they had to have it.
He was a fiery person anyway.
Right.
And he was never into his drugs. He was more of a drink man. And he'd get into fights and he'd cut tendons in his hands. And then he got glass one day. And that's made him even worse because he was very conscious about his scars. He got over it later on, a little bit, when he went solo, because he didn't really mind gurning that much.
It was a bad scarring, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He got glass in, sorry.
Yeah.
So keeping on the Thin Lizzy thing, on my notes I've wrote down Thin Lizzy in brackets phone. So that's why I was looking at my phone, people.
You're going to phone him?
So I'm just going to ring Scott Gorham. So no, you're going to like this.
Oh, really?
So
So?
on reading of this article, I'm going to call it today. So today, a new Thin Lizzy album has been announced. It will be a compilation recorded acoustic session which will be released on January the 24th, 2025, and it will feature stripped-back versions of the Thin Lizzy classics. The vocals provided will be old vocals redone of the late Phil Lynott. The new record isn't all taken from archived Thin Lizzy recordings. The band's founder member, Eric Bell, has prepared new guitar work for all of the album. It will also be released on CD and on a limited marble clear vinyl.
Ooh, sounds nice.
Among the songs on the new acoustic album will be a stripped-back version of Whiskey in a Jar. It's a song that Lynott notoriously grew sick of playing because how popular it became. However, it still remains a fan's favourite.
Yeah. It was even covered by Metallica.
Right, so
Yeah, and somebody else did it as well, didn't they?
is that a good thing when people dig up the songs from the past or dig up bits of music and they make
It's not out yet. You don't have to go and try and purchase it now. It's not out yet. You don't have to try and purchase it now.
Go and get a ticket for it now.
Is it what's your thoughts on when they rehash old stuff or they'll do a stripped back version or they'll release B-sides of something that was never meant to be out? Because there's a reason why they wouldn't bring out
it.
But if the artist never wanted it out and there was a decision not to put it out and they didn't do that in their lifespan.
Well, it's not saying that, is it? It's saying that it's
A stripped back version of Whiskey in a Jar.
Versions and acoustic versions of their hits.
How are they doing these stripped back versions?
Well,
Is it like AI or?
it doesn't say. It just says that Lynott's Lynott or Line, however. Phil's singing will be taken from old recordings, but the guitar work will be new guitar work.
Oh, right.
So he's changing the guitar works.
See, that in itself, Thin Lizzy aren't an acoustic band, are they?
No.
You don't think of Thin Lizzy, you think, let's...
I mean, to be all honest, I'm not a big Thin Lizzy fan.
No, I'm not the biggest, but I don't think of Thin Lizzy as being an acoustic band.
No.
So is it dishonouring the idea of Thin Lizzy by doing doing an acoustic version of Whiskey in a Jar?
I would imagine that
Jaro?
I forgot the name of the guy's name I mentioned, but he's going to have people's permission, like Gorham's, to be able to do it. So Gorham must have said, "Yeah, all right, yeah, go for it."
What's your thoughts on being a big Thin Lizzy fan? Like, what is it wrong to just take something and rehash it into a different format? So to do an acoustic version using Phil Lynnett's vocals, is that problematic because they aren't an acoustic band? You don't think of them as an acoustic band.
No, you don't. I've not heard this story. It's a bit of a revelation, you might say, because no, you don't. They were never an acoustic band. How well are them songs going to come over? We're so familiar with them songs, and now they're doing an acoustic version. Well, people say, "Oh, that's brilliant. Why didn't they do it like that in the first place?" Well, I don't think they will. I think they'll say, "Oh, they were probably best left alone."
Yeah, Whiskey in a Jar. We've all heard
They were basically acoustic to start with. That
yeah,
one, right?
we've all heard some guy in a pub sing with acoustic, but
Dancing in the Moonlight. It's all bass work, that, and a great solo by Scott Gorham that's in it. But what can they do with that?
Boys Are Back in Town, acoustic.
Yeah, Boys Are Back in Town.
This time it's a slow town.
Tonight there's going to be a jailbreak somewhere. Yeah, I don't think that's... No, I don't like the idea of it. We're going to get a lot of this, though. It's the old AI trick again, isn't it?
Well, apparently this isn't AI. This is people re-recording parts.
Yeah. Well, you're going to get Eric Bell. I mean, I wrote Eric Bell now. He did the original Whiskey in a Jar. Gary Moore's dead. Brian Robertson, he's not really a well man. I think he's still alive, actually. I think he's still alive. And then you've got Sykes. He played for him. And then you've got... Even Midjour played for him at one time.
Midjour?
Midjour.
Ah, Vienna.
Because I said to you that Gary Moore had cut tendons in his hand. I don't think it was. I think it was Brian Robertson that cut tendons in his hand. Because he was a fiery Scotsman with a short temper. And...
nothing worse.
They were cursed. Every time they planned a tour of America, something happened.
Like Tush.
Like Tush. Yeah, exactly like Tush.
Exactly like Tush.
Yeah, friends of ours. Yeah, every time they tried to do a tour of America, something happened. Somebody got into a fight night before and then they won't be able to go. Or they had to cancel the tour or bring another guitarist out. And they just could never never get it down.
Yeah.
As they like to say.
I've got a little story about him as well.
Oh, go on then.
So...
You're full of this tonight.
I know.
Little Story Wayne.
Little Story Wayne. I've got a big story later.
Ooh.
Is that like a rapper?
Big
Because
story.
they're all called Little, aren't they?
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne.
There's already a Little Wayne.
Little Story Wayne.
Little shit.
in a white suit. I've just come back from the white party.
Slip slide. Slip slide,
Slip
baby.
slide. Move them pizza boxes.
Stuffed crust.
Oh, thin and crisp.
So that what baby oil were for.
Well done. I like that one.
Right. So Thin Lizzy. After rehearsing their own material, just before packing up, Mr. Lynott put down his bass and picked up a 6-string guitar, acoustic, and started just messing about with it.
What doing?
They were doing messing about. You know, chewing it, and licking machine heads, and he broke into an old Irish folk song called Whiskey in a Jar. So all of us just joined in, just for fun. As they were messing about playing this Whiskey in a Jar, Ted Carroll, manager, walked in and said, "That's brilliant, brilliant." So they persuaded them to record it and put it onto the B-side of, is it Black Boys on the Corner? Am I correct on that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was going to be the B-side for Black Boys on the Corner, which was going to be their first single for Decca Records. So they went into recording studios to record.
Can I just stop you there?
You can.
I never thought I'd see Wayne so enthusiastic about Thin Lizzy.
Well,
I'm in my story mode.
story mode. More. Like and subscribe for more. Story mode.
Oh, you won't
Would
get the
you
end
like
of
to
the
see
story.
Wayne in a different mode? Mode.
Yeah, a white suit, holding a pizza box.
With a stuffed crust.
With a stuffed crust covered in baby oil. Anyway, where did I get
It's
to?
getting
Anyway,
weird now. It's getting weird.
so that was just to be their first single for Dex anyway. So when they went in to record it, they were playing it and the record company liked it that much that they persuaded them to make Whiskey in a Jar the A-side and Black Boys on the Corner the B-side, which they were a little bit reluctant to do because they thought Black Boys on the Corner was going to be a big track. Whiskey in a Jar was just something that they messed about with. It's an old Irish song that, we don't really want to do that. It's not ours. We want to do this.
Yeah, it weren't their style at the time.
Yeah,
They were a bit gimmicky, weren't it?
They agreed to do it. So they made it A-side. They agreed to put Black Boys on the Corner as a B-side. It went to number 6 in UK, number 1 in Ireland, and that's it.
It made them the reputation.
The rest was history.
And the rest was history, as they say in white suits.
It made them the reputation, but it was also something that they all disliked, especially Phil Lynott, because they didn't want to be known as that gimmicky band that played Irish folk songs.
No.
They wanted to be a rock band. They wanted to be recognised as being a rock band that came from Ireland. And it was a shame, really, but that's how it turned out. Because they'd already set the... I think they cured it later on. I think they got over that hurdle a bit later on, but they had to put a lot of years in before they got to that stage.
I was saying to Louis while you were just like cat that I'm not a big Thin Lizzy fan anyway, as you all know. And were they really a rock band?
Yes.
Were they really a rock band?
Yeah.
Were they really a snooker club?
I don't know, but they're not like...
Yes, they
what?
Yes.
They don't like
I mean,
rock.
we were talking about
we were
talking about them being acoustic. They're not really acoustic.
Yeah, but
that only shows the lack of listening that you've done to them.
it is. Yeah.
Because if you want to ask that question, if you listen to them.
You won't put them as a AC/DC or a Guns N' Roses or a Black
you would.
Sabbath
Yeah, you
rock
would.
band.
I don't know what else you'd put them as.
Yeah.
No.
What would
Well,
you
I wouldn't because... But then again, I don't listen. I'm not a big fan
Maybe
of
you should.
What's your impression of them? What do you think they are?
A bit more on the lines of... I don't know.
You're basing everything on Whiskey in the Jar.
Yeah, that's
Don't.
That's probably
don't.
the most listened to track that I've heard.
Let me give you a little tip. Go and listen to Live and Dangerous.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
It's good. And if you want to
great.
hear that live, what do you call the band? Limehouse Lizzy.
Oh, yeah. They've been doing it for about 25, 26 years now. No?
That's good.
I don't know
The
why...
thing is, for me to go and watch a band like that, I don't know enough about or of Lizzy to know what they're playing.
You don't know whether they're playing it good, bad,
Yeah.
or indifferent, do you? So,
I think you'd like them.
I'd just listen
I
to
don't
them,
think you need to.
and I'd either like them or I'd dislike them.
Yes.
Just from what I'm hearing, I wouldn't know. I couldn't come out there and say, yeah, they're good. They're just like
So just
Lizzy.
take it for what it is.
I wouldn't know. I'd have to take it for what it is, yeah. There's just something about Thin Lizzy that I've just never got on with.
That's fair enough. You know, we're all got as bands that we can't gel with.
It's just...
It's
It's a bit... Well, I mean...
If you
everybody out
knew
there
the back,
knows
if
that.
you know a bit more about the back catalogue, then you would know not to say that they're not rock.
It's like I don't get on with Bowie. Something about Bowie I just don't get.
Ask him about Venga Girls, he's all over it.
Oh, I know that.
Boy.
Hey.
Venga Girls and what's that other band? 1 Direction.
Oh, yeah. And what's that
Oh,
other
I
one? Them from Hull.
Beautiful South.
Oh, well, I mean, there you go.
Oh, great band.
Enough said.
Brilliant.
I heard this is not Beautiful South, but I heard a little story about the Lightning Seeds. And I think it's a song, Lucky You or something like that.
Yeah.
But the song starts with dun 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 dun.
Yes,
dun,
that's
dun,
right, yeah.
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Right.
How does it go?
Right, so it starts like a Motown. It kicks in like a Motown song, and apparently the bit in the beginning of the song where it goes dun 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 dun, that's just the lead singer with his keyboard trying to get in time before the song starts, and it was never meant to be in the recording.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's just a little like thing that the producer kept in because it's a bit awkward and weird. It's like it's not quite in time.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it kicks into time when the drum intro starts, and then the song starts.
Oh, right.
Brody. Is his name Brody?
I don't know. I don't know what his name is.
Chief.
Sorry? Chief Brody?
Ian Brody.
You don't know
Ian
Chief
Brody,
You don't know
yeah.
Chief. You don't know Chief Brody is?
Who's Chief
No.
Brody?
No.
No.
Who's Chief
Ian Brody. I thought Ian Brody was a serial killer.
If you know who Chief Brody
Is it Brody?
please
Ian Brody.
leave
Ian Brody's
in
lead
the
singer
comments below.
Ian Brody's the lead singer.
And he's a serial killer.
No, he's not a serial killer. He's a nice man, actually. But he was destined to be in music. He comes from Liverpool. And he was born on Penny Lane.
Oh. Do you know where the name Lightning Seeds come from?
Enlighten me.
It comes from a Prince lyric.
Really? Oh.
Which one?
I don't know.
The Lightning Seeds.
That's the one.
Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
yeah, Purple
There you
Rain.
On that note,
Goodbye.